If the essence of the Art Nouveau period was free-flowing creativity, that of the Art Deco era was based on sobriety. The curved and sinuous line became a more straight and angular one. In the same way, if the female form was a repeated theme of the Art Nouveau movement, Art Deco depended on a more masculine theme. The woman became a tomboy. She had short hair, did sport, smoked, and wore trousers. These changes began in the first decade of the 1900s and were the style post-First World War. Celluloid became the inescapable modern material. It dominated in the fabrication of all everyday objects. The great French clothes designer Paul Poiret abandoned the corset, which sculpted the body. He created the large style of dress that had a flat and long-limbed outline. This example here dates back to 1923. The rupture with a feminine and flowery female figure was now achieved. A more simple silhouette was preferred, as seen on this small hinged comb. The Art Deco style influenced all the graphic arts. It was evident, for example, in Cubist painting. Its name originated from the International Decorative Arts Exhibition of 1925 in Paris. Black became the preferred colour for most objects. Its density was appreciated, far from the transparency of horn, and it was often used to offset primary colours like red. Asymmetric shapes with sharp angles dominated. As seen here, the Art Deco style set clear limits for the imagination. It borrowed graphic rules from the Japanese masters of engraving, particularly when using combinations of circles, rectangles, squares, ovals, or fan shapes. This composition is called Kibori Gakuawase Sanzu, which means rivalry between framed pictures. It produces forms within a form, thereby strongly focusing the eye. You won't find any realism in this art form. Giving life to the subject was not an aim. On the contrary, it became a simple game of lines through stylization. The rose flower looks like a geometric design, similar to a rose window. Rationality dominated emotion. The stems here don't follow a free-flowing shape. Their curves are controlled and ordered, showing that man was in control of nature and not the other way round. Decorations could be reduced to a collection of simple abstract designs, or be figurative, always contained in a closed frame. Here the cat isn't shown as a wild animal, but as an urban one, evoking a shop sign. Hair ornaments could be freely displayed in the hairstyle, but fashion dictated that combs be worn low down on the back of the neck. They held the hair up in a rolled-up style, leaving the neck bare. Pale green was hardly ever used for such accessories. It would have been drab without the addition of the gold and black outlines. The black and gold accents on each end of this comb bring a necessary and elegant touch to this ornament. This piece is signed Paul Gallienne, a French designer of the period. To domesticate wild locks or small curls, women wore headbands. Hair was so tamed that triple hoops were often used to keep it bound up tidily. These very specific ornaments look like an elegant helmet embellished with hanging jewels. Auguste Bonnat, a comb designer from the beginning of the century, was a convert to the Art Deco tendency like many others. Following this popular trend, he enjoyed playing with black and red. Behind these two contrasting colours, the figure of the Spanish woman appears, with her very dark black hair and the stylish way she adorns it with a comb. Solid coloured surfaces and transparent rosettes evoke stained glass and produce a pleasing effect. Cabochon stones were very prized, as they attracted the eye and worked wonders with the pure design lines on a comb. As shown on these advertisements, Auguste Bonin holds up the black comb as a precious and elegant accessory. The few examples which have survived the test of time are evidence of his talent. When studded with tiny paste stones, they were the indispensable ornament to wear at any evening party. Only a thin golden line bordering a perfectly designed curve could be enough decoration. For daily life, simpler but always very well worked models were available. To vary his products, Auguste Bonin, also inspired by Japanese aesthetics, lit up his plain surfaces with tiny pierced tracery. He would develop this design in different ways, either as a single motif, designed in different colours, or by using different shapes. These long teeth hair combs were used to hold up buns and could very easily be worn for evening parties. The comb with no motif and a smooth and monocolour surface appeared in the 20s. It foretold a more contemporary art, for which beauty derived only from the design and colour. When it was worn with a mantilla veil, it revived Spanish tradition, as seen on this flashy advertisement. And why not mix plain and open-worked surfaces in an aesthetic dialogue? This small, elaborate comb is a good example for its stunning mix of shapes. The circle contains a star, which in turn contains a square. Auguste Bonin understood very early on how important it was to use publicity. Through it, his new models appeared as artistic as well as desirable objects. Celluloid was no longer a substitute for tortoiseshell. It could now be showcased alongside more traditional jewels. Calling it haute mode, it clearly referred to the world of haute couture. When he added silver and golden touches on complex motifs, he brought refinement and an aspect of value to daily accessories. The ball comb was certainly his most successful creation. Whether round or cut with facets, these balls were displayed on a fan-shaped and networked comb, thereby lightening up the structure. Standing high in a classical bun, it looked like a tiara. Set on its side in short or curly hairstyles, it lost its conventional aspect and became very trendy indeed. Here is a nice example for rather short hair with an impressively sober decoration. Only an edge of pearly balls adorns a black arched surround. All these accessories were swiftly taken up by numerous women who appreciated their originality. But Auguste Bonin's talent didn't stop there. He carved celluloid like a high-quality material in a very graphic spirit. He enriched his artistic abilities with stunning and complex designs requiring strong technical skills. He mastered any arabesques with great inventiveness, evoking the stucco decoration of Moresque palaces. Here, the comb looks like a Chantilly lace fan. For more refinement, this superb top-of-the-range comb is enriched with tiny black stones on a black plastic setting. When worn with a large Poiret-made coat, this style of comb gave an elegant finishing touch. At that time, Oyonnax City was the state-of-the-art comb-making centre in France. If Auguste Bonin was the leader, many other craftsmen also started making and selling their own ranges of products. Celluloid imitating ivory was fashionable and would later become known as French ivory. It was often enhanced with shining paste stones. This piece is interesting for its inverted motif and asymmetric shape. This one has purer lines, with its alternating cream and black colours and the smooth surfaces opposing those studded with paste stones. Paste stones in a geometric setting could be the only adornment. They were a favourite embellishment because they caught the electric light to perfection during high-life parties. Because women wore their hair short, they used small pocket-sized combs, just like men, for those last-minute touches. This pocket comb and the car from the previous slide are very similar in shape and appear like emblems of modernity. The shiny black body is enhanced by the chrome work. Marquetry, rules, tablets, or inlaid drafts boards were also Art Deco characteristics. Here, these techniques were used on celluloid imitating mother of pearl. To those Japanese and Spanish influences already mentioned can be added Negro art, bringing with it ebony and mahogany tones. This art influence contributed innovative shapes with strong opposition between pale and dark colours. These combs usually came in pairs. On these ones, a silver architectural design is set on blonde tortoiseshell. During the summer of 1925, women went crazy about very small combs because they were able to discipline those out-of-place strands in spontaneous ways. They were also used to soften the too boyish look of short, bobbed haircuts. As it developed alongside women's emancipation, they could be set freely anywhere on the head to enliven its hairstyle. The rise of modern materials gave a new impetus to jewellery making. Far from being considered as mere imitations, they were thought of as precious in their own right, with their own much-prized shapes and colours. The cold glow of metal was much appreciated in its own right. Chrome was popular like paste stones, not pretending to be anything grander than what they were. The Art Deco artists could combine art, craftsmanship and industry. They created products en masse, thus opening the way to the consumer society of today. The Art Deco style was first a French movement, but it had an international impact on other domains like architecture and all applied arts. It declined after 1935, but remains a strong moment in art history. The Art Nouveau and the Art Deco styles are often compared because they are based on opposite aesthetic views. After raising femininity so high, male supremacy felt in danger and quickly reduced this voice to silence. Nevertheless, both movements were based on a highly idealized image of the woman.